and welcome back, adventurers. Sit back, get comfy, and let us finish our exploration of Borca with its cities and sights. Sturbin sits in central Borca, hugging the northern banks of the Vasha River near the Falkovnian border. Its fortifications are well manned and still scarred from the Widows' massacre. Several expansive estates overlook the southern banks, protected by the Vasha itself. The Sipes Highway enters Sturbin from Falkovnia through Commerce Hall, where merchant cargo is inspected and transit papers issued. Commerce Hall provides offices for Sturbin various guildmasters, including Baroness Ritter, the meticulously attentive head of the trade guild and the mayor of Sturbin. Sturbin operates primarily as a trade crossroads. Goods are collected here before being shipped north, so workshops and long rows of warehouses line its main thoroughfares. These lanes slice Sturbin into 3 quarters, tucking its residential areas out of sight. Western Sturbin, a crime-ridden slum, teems with cramped tenements and gambling halls. The northern quarter is a home to the townhouses of the middle class and the elegant stone House of Grace, wellspring of the first schism of Ezran Church. The southeast quarter houses marketplaces, hot springs, Sturbin's bathhouse, and its most notorious landmark, the Worm's Breath. The slumming marble fountain depicts a legendary 2-headed dragon hunched over a large iron cage. Condemned prisoners are locked in the cage to meet their doom. Once every 3 hours, the geyser ingeniously incorporated into the sculpture blasts a torrent of scalding water from the dragon's maws, dousing the cage contents. East of the Vasha River, Legberg's heart rises nearly 800 feet above the river on a broad, rocky tor. Legberg's main thoroughfares gradually coil their way up the hillsides, which the residents' ancestors worked into wide terraces onto which they built their homes. Originally, the hill was home to a remote monastery dedicated to the Borovian sun god Andral. Roughly 600 years ago, the Borcan merchant prince Lech Kosko seized the tor, dubbing it Lech's Mountain. Under his reign, the monastery was expanded into a fortress, and its support buildings gradually spread down the slopes. The vertical city's natural defenses proved invaluable during the Turk invasion. Lech's small, weather-worn fortress is now incongruously called the Golden Palace, housing both the headquarters of the Legbar militia and Evangelistnias during his visits. Legbar lies off the major trade routes, so it relies on industry and bloody liquor to support itself. Miners in the Dogleg Heights cart their ores to refineries along the city's eastern edge, while the tor itself is a home to Borca's largest currency mints and banking houses. Complex subterranean vaults carved deep into the tor, storing treasures most of Legbar's inhabitants can scarcely imagine. These vaults are fiercely guarded via methods both mundane and arcane. Legbar is a home to a thriving theatre community, thanks largely to Ivan's patronage and the popularity of Cesar Vercezo, resident composer for the cavernous Summit Theatre. When the weather cooperates, the rear wall of the stage can be opened to use the stunning Balnok Mountains for a backdrop. North of Legberg, the Crimson Highway narrows to a hilly road leading directly to the wrought iron gates of Ivan's manor. The walled estate chokes with overgrown gardens and brambles. Most are poisonous and dead or black with rot, with only the kitchen and the medicinal garden tended. The Garvo is built in a variation of the classic Borcan style. Numerous interconnected branches coil around a massive central hall like a maelstrom. Ivan calls the central hall his laughing house. Outdoor for its twisted corridors past lovely ballrooms and dining halls, Ivan's private theater, display chambers for toys, weapons, clothes, and all manner of esoteria, and opulent lounges thick with the aroma of the incense and exotic narcotics. Bustling capital of Borca, Lovegrid, is a roughly heart-shaped city that straddles a low rise along the western banks of the Luna, just upriver from where the great river's twin heads merge. Its marble fortifications are well maintained but sparsely patrolled. The Crimson Highway cuts a winding path through the city's heart, bookended by 2 gatehouses, towering Sunset Gate to the west and a smaller Sunrise Gate to the southeast. Lovegrid is a major trade center. The shops and eateries offer goods from throughout the world, for the right price. What the merchant guilds do not have, the trade guilds can obtain. Lovegrid is a home to the Academy of Style, a respected finishing school, and numerous art galleries and music halls. Friends of Lady Ivana operate many of these establishments. Some folk whisper that she sponsored their art solely to ensure Lovegrid does not lack for entertainment. Lovegrid is undeniably scenic, surrounded for miles by the rolling farms and estates of Ivana's favorite nobles. The city houses several stunning monuments to the artistry of Borca's architects, most notably Marsav Hall and the Great Cathedral. Marsav Hall is a true palace, hidden behind high walls at the northern edge of town. Marsav is the official seat of Borcan government. Its expansive grounds include record halls, militia barracks, and private quarters for the family of Lovegrid's mayor, Consul Borca. Borca is Lady Ivana's brother, though at 63 he more closely resembles her grandfather. He is also her closest advisor. The Great Cathedral looms a few blocks away. Its cavernous worship hall's ceiling is covered in marble gargoyles that represent the legions of the night, all shying away from the serenity of the huge icon of Ezra above the altar. The cathedral's Eclectic library is open to scholars only by appointment and under strict supervision. The quiet halls are literally treasure hoard, storing supposed religious relics, holy texts of countless religions, the original copies of each book of Ezra, and scores of heretical works collected over the years. While in Lovecrest, I was fortunate enough to obtain an invitation to a social gathering at Misericordia, home to the Black Widow. Misericordia means loving kindness, but many Borcans secretly call it Miseria Corpa, the body of misery. The sprawling estates covers a high hill southern of Lovecrest, overlooking the old Swallish Road. The manor boasts several widow's walks that stand atop the steeply sloping roofs, accented by trapdoors. Ivana repeatedly haunts these walkways whenever one of her lovers dies. By all accounts, Misericordia is riddled with secret passages I found free while wandering the halls, but all of this proved to be innocuous routes for servants. According to rumors, escape tunnels run the length of the estate, and Ivana's private suite can be accessed only through a series of concealed corridors. Thank you so much for your time, patient listeners. I hope our time in Borca was as pleasant for you as it was for me. I would not fault you for staying here for the rest of your lives if you wanted to. But if you're still harboring that adventurous spirits, be careful while crossing the mists.